Today is how reducing sugar helps with weight loss as a woman over 50. Hi, I'm Lori Blue, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and I am starting this video here on Instagram. So if you're watching from YouTube, hop on over here, tag me, follow me, let me know that you're there. And for those who are joining and want to hang out with me more and ask a question, I am giving away free health and weight loss audits through Instagram. So if you're on YouTube, again, jump into Instagram, like and follow me, and let me know you would like an audit. I am here to help support you as a woman over 50. We all need to be empowered and feel like get that hope, continue that hope that we want and need to have to focus on lifestyle, because we need to make shifts, maybe slowly, some at a time. And maybe you're feeling alone. What I'm noticing on YouTube is with my video, go check it out. It's already got over 12K views, but it's super cool to know that there are women out there who want to be part of a support system, who don't want to feel like they're left out and alone. And did you know how many women are actually on low carb diet, or maybe hiding in the closet and not telling people? But because this is what's going to make us feel healthier. And you know what? It's not just healthier, because that's why sugar, I'm going to jump into the subject a little bit more now, but why reducing sugar in our diet, especially as a woman over 50, is because what it does is it takes away the interferences and weight loss blocks. But here is the big things that it's going to do. It is going to clear up that brain and give you more brain energy. You're going to ditch the brain fog. When you start to ditch the brain fog and reduce the sugar, and your body starts to work better on a metabolic level, you're going to feel better than you've ever felt before, and you're going to have amazing energy. That's when you start making the food shifts and able to actually, as you're making those food shifts, you're able to make it stick, because you're deciding that, gosh, I love how I feel. I don't want to go back to feeling bad or feeling miserable. So this way of eating, I can find ways that it's going to make me feel great. So why should I go back and eat foods that don't make me feel good? That's why I've never looked backwards. When I went on a low carb keto diet, 8 years ago, when I first shifted into this, I started with a bulletproof coffee, brought in the coconut oil, brought in the butter, ditched the fruit, ditched the dried fruit, ditched the honey, the maple syrup, and I felt amazing. My brain turned back on. I had brain energy. I could focus again. I had amazing recall because I was doing everything I could to get my brain to work again. And so that made the food shifts easier. And as I explored and learned to cook and bake without sugar in my diet in a keto way with grain-free, that's when it started to feel less restrictive and more of opportunities. So you don't want to look at reducing sugar as something that is restrictive, but empowering and full of opportunity, because you get to choose what you want to eat. Now, I was just having a conversation with someone the other day and looking at a label for a soda pop. And it was, it was the lollipop soda pop, but it had a little bit of sugar in it. It did have some stevia. So labels can get kind of tricky. They are a better alternative to soda if you're still drinking soda. But if you're still drinking soda, you've got your disease switches turned on and you've got growth factors turned on for weight gain. So this soda is a better option. However, it still has sugar. It's apple juice concentrate and some cassava starch syrup. Anytime you have a concentrate and a syrup, that is a sugar. And what that does is break down to glucose, and it breaks down all carbohydrates. Are going to break down into glucose in your blood system. And that is what I'm referring to as sugar. So even all of the carbohydrates, all your grains, all your pasta, all your bread, all your starches, even the keto-friendly starches, they're going to break down into glucose in your digestive tract and go into your blood. And that's going to be a sugar load on your body that's going to increase your insulin load. And so the whole idea with reducing sugar in our diet for weight loss as a woman over 50 is to take away the interferences that are causing your weight loss block. Now, with sugar, I'm going to just refer to glucose in the blood as sugar. So when you have too much sugar in your blood, you have insulin levels turned on. You have your insulin switch turned on. You are in a fat storage mode, creating LDL triglycerides, creating triglycerides to store that fat in your blood system. Let's look at it as a bus. That triglycerides and the LDL are a bus The bus is the LDL, and it's transporting that sugar and the triglyceride to your fat storage cells. So the body has a job to get all that sugar out of your blood system and store it for you. And we also have a biological urge or need to eat sugar. And that's why it's so hard to say no to sugar, because sugar is addictive. When we are in a biological urge, when that switch is turned on, your sugar switch is turned on, you are out there seeking sugar to get fat for winter so that you can survive. That is a mechanical issue in our body. That is a hormonal process. That's why calories in, calories out doesn't work. And you're always starving yourself on a Weight Watchers process or even on the Ozempic process. You're not eating. You're in a starvation mode. You are in a low-calorie mode. And it is not actually sustainable. So my low carb method is a holistic low carb method, which is a sustainable weight loss process. I never know how much people are going to lose. It depends on your 100% implementation of my process, but it could get really easy. Weight loss can be really easy. I've got one client that's nearly down 20 pounds. She's in between 15 and 20 pounds, barely 2 months into the program, feeling amazing. I sent her a subscription for recipes that are no sugar, no grains, so that she could be less, feeling less restrictive. Because in the beginning, you do feel a little less restrictive as you're looking at the opportunities to feel better in your body. You're ditching the carbohydrate addiction, but it also has to kind of come out of the brain, like there is a wheelbarrow, ruts in the brain. And you need to look at that as, you get into patterns and habits of food that you're eating, and we need to learn to get out of those patterns and habits. Use food bridges that are similar to the foods that we were eating that were full of sugar and replace them. Like the wheat bread, you replace them with grain-free bread that doesn't have any wheat or wheat gluten, because wheat is very damaging to the gut and will raise your appetite. And so that is part of the process, is we have to get these little avenues of things that we can do organized by just taking the sugar out of our diet and taking the grains out of our diet to reduce the carbohydrate load in our body, so that there's less glucose and sugar going through your blood system, so you can then lower your insulin response in the body. And that's part of the problem. And the other one too is, like, we are insulin resistant. If you're overweight, you're insulin resistant. If you have diseases in the body, you're insulin resistant. That is the precursor to all the diseases in the body, per Dr. Ben Bickman. He's got a book out there, Why We Get Sick, and he's very real. He is focused, he's one of the specialists on insulin resistance. And so it's really cool to understand all of that. And then also, if you've got brain dysfunction, or you've got a lot of brain fog, or lack brain energy, there's a book out there called Brain Energy by Dr. Chris Palmer. He is a 25-year psychiatrist, working psychiatrist, Harvard trained, and he is actually using a ketogenic diet to help people have better brain energy and reduce bipolar, schizophrenia, and depression. And he uses it for himself. And so that's really cool to get that information and to understand too what sugar does in our body. And there's even another book out there, I'm not sure, I think it's one of the older ones, one of the first ones out there, White Deadly, is the term for what is sugar. Because, if you want to look at it, you put it in a pile next to, say, cocaine. They're both white. They look very similar. And they were both addictive. They both go into the brain and cause dopamine hits. And if you put those in front of rats, and rats are addicted both to sugar and cocaine, they will take sugar before they take that cocaine. And so when we look at things like that, we want to look at how is this reacting to our brain? What is it doing to our brain? Also, what is this doing to our body overall in the disease process and for longevity? So with the holistic low carb method, you get to reclaim your life and reverse age, because it is part of flipping that sugar switch and turning it off, getting your body, reclaiming your body, and getting your body back to health, back into homeostasis as close as we can get for whatever damage is done in the body. Magic can happen, but miracles happen or they don't happen. And we don't always have control of which direction to go, but we do have control of what we eat, what we put in our environment, and what we do to ourselves, around ourselves. So we get to control all of that. And when we actually look at controlling the sugar, reducing the sugar in our body, if we want weight loss, as a woman over 50, we have to take the sugar out of your body. So I'm going to put it right out there, straight out. I am your practitioner, and I'm letting you know that for me to lose 100 pounds of weight loss, I could not have done this if I had left sugar in my diet. Not at all. Sugar is very powerful. It is a very powerful addictive source in your brain. And if you are addicted to this, people have said that they could get off drugs faster than they can get off of sugar. Sugar is so hard. But it can be easy when you do and follow the right directions and get the right type of foods in your body. And then it becomes easy because it's a process. You just keep doing it. You just keep saying no to sugar. You don't cheat on it. The more you cheat on it, you got to think of this as alcohol. You do not give some alcohol to drink, because we respect the fact that they are addicted to alcohol, and that wouldn't be serving them. But we are also addicted to sugar, and so we shouldn't push sugar on somebody who's trying to say no to sugar. And you don't want to push it on yourself if you've got a weight loss goal. And the other goal could be to live healthier, so you can get down on the ground and play with your grandchildren, so you can stay active, so you could turn off the pain in your body and live life, the second half of your life, better and more beautifully, with confidence, so that you could get out and do what you want to do. And you can, you know what? Somebody mentioned the other day that I thought it was really powerful, that I hadn't really heard before. But you could actually give up a 2-week vacation this year and invest in yourself instead, and come and join me on my holistic low carb method as your vacation. This is your health adventure experience, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to get your body ready for the next big vacation. But maybe you need to postpone that vacation until you get body ready. And that's your brain, your body, your whole body. You got to look at the head, the body, the legs, the feet. If you have any pain anywhere in your body, that is what sugar does to your body. There's a book out there that's very powerful. It's called Sugar Crush, by a doctor who is he works with neuropathy. I don't know if what his specific term is for his doctor name, but it is a very powerful book, Sugar Crush. This is what sugar does to your nervous system. Crushes every single damn nerve in your body. That is Sugar Crush. That pain in your foot, that carpal tunnel, that ache in your neck, all of this, unless it's a mechanical issue where you had like a car crash or you had something happen, like I stubbed my toes and hurt my foot. That is not neuropathy. That is, trauma. And so you need to understand that sugar is damaging your nervous system. And why would you want it in your system anyway? So the bonus of taking sugar out of your diet to lose weight as a woman over 50 is you get to pull your health back and you get to reclaim your life. You get to turn off your sugar switch, flip that disease switch, start practicing epigenetics. And epigenetics sounds like a big word, but this is what it does. Epigenetics is flipping that sugar switch and turning off your disease-causing genes in your body. This is the term I like to use because it's relevant to how I'm living my lifestyle and why I no longer am at risk for any kind of cancers or melanoma, because I've flipped that sugar switch off. When you switch that off, you're no longer in growth mode. Sugar is growth, turns on insulin. Insulin is growth. Now we need a little bit of insulin, but we want it balanced. We don't want to turn it off completely, then we can't grow muscles. We want to be able to turn it on and off and use it the way our body was designed, to build muscle and to utilize glucose as we need it, but not 24/7 all the time, so that you have hyperinsulinemia. If there's insulin circulating continuously, that's growth, and growth factors are disease. Most of the diseases, per Ben Bickman, he talks about how insulin resistance is the precursor to all diseases in our lifestyle. And I like the way Dr. Jason Fung talks about diabetes. It's just too much sugar in the blood. That's what it comes down to. It's a lifestyle disease, and it is reversible. So don't let anyone tell you it's not. And so I do have my weight loss solution and my diabetes solution. And when you work with me, we're going to help you reclaim your life. I'm going to work with you and guide you and be your FDN practitioner, health adventure guide, to get you to reclaim your body and put you back to homeostasis. Like Humpty Dumpty, we're going to put you back together again. But you have to take sugar out of your diet. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that anymore. It has to come out, because when you have insulin resistance, any amount of extra sugar in your body is going to tip that bucket over and pour all that sugar into your body as fat. And it's going to be a toxic load on your body, and it's going to lead to disease. And so you need to turn the switch off. And it may not sound easy, but it can be really easy weight loss when you do take it out. It is foundational for your health especially as a woman of 50, because when we have lower insulin, when we have lower hormonal levels, we are more insulin resistant. And so estrogen was there to help us be more insulin sensitive. Well, it's not there anymore. And so this is also a process where we're going to balance hormones and run 6 diagnostic labs to find where your hidden healing opportunities are and what your weight loss blocks are, so that you can collapse the time and get results this year and lose the weight if your body is ready to let the weight go. And so I always will be there weekly for you to help support you on your weight loss journey and help guide you and course correct as much as we can based on your lab results, your symptomology from your metabolic analysis, and working the low carb diet to turn off the sugar drain on your body so you reduce the pain of inflammation and get active again. And the more active in movement you get, and the more you turn your life into a health adventure and get outside and balance that circadian rhythm, the more you're going to get back into homeostasis. And that's when the magic happens, because you could kind of get keto. People do keto maybe a little bit, maybe they're not doing it right, maybe they're not doing it wrong, correctly. And it isn't necessarily correctly. You definitely just want to take out the sugar and go low carb as much as you can. But there could be interferences. You may not understand what the interferences are. And to lose the weight and keep it off sustainably for good, so you never have to gain the weight back again, it is a lifestyle without sugar. And that kind of leads me into tomorrow. Excuse me. Tomorrow I am having my Banished Cravings workshop. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific, March 13th. It's tomorrow, Wednesday. So I am going to post this and put the link here. If you're listening to Instagram, there's going to be a link in stories. If you're in YouTube when you're listening to this and you missed the workshop, then just DM me and let me know, and I can send you the recording. But if you can sign up and come and get the link before the program, what you want to do is send me in a question so I can answer it during the program, so I can give you a little bit of extra attention. And that way you're participating more, your brain is reacting more, you're internalizing more. And I'm going to go over this more deeply and talk more about the hormonal process of cravings and why, what's going on with sugar. It's going to be a very visual presentation and interactive. So I'm going to ask you questions and see how you're doing, find out what your takeaways are. It's going to be a group of people there. I've got over 10 people signed up. So come and join us, and it's going to be exciting. And next month, I've decided I'm going to do the Lifestyle Without Sugars presentation, so that you can get the cravings this month, the sugar presentation next month. And if you jump into YouTube, there is the 8 Essential Belly Fat Hacks workshop that is already recorded, and you can download my belly fat mini course in the links there. And the mini course has the recording, so you could take that and just take it to your computer and download the workbook as well as the cheat sheet. So you want to get that cheat sheet, because there is a lot of good information on that I put together. So I'm super excited to have offered that to you. Okay, so I got that out of the way, and I think I pretty much addressed everything that I wanted to talk about. But I also want to bring back in the fact that I have been 225 pounds, pre-diabetic, PCOS, developing diseases in my body. And the reason I know that is because when I first started a low-carb diet, I wish I could remember. I'd have to go back and look at the pictures and the dates, but I did get a spot of melanoma pop out on my neck after I started my low-carb diet, after I started detoxifying. When my body went into a detoxification mode and I was doing intermittent fasting and nourishing my body took that melanoma and shoved it out of my body into my outside of my neck. I had it surgically removed. There is nothing left over there, and I haven't had anything since. This was well over 5 years ago. That was my bullet. I dodged that bullet because I took sugar out of my body. And you know what? You don't ever want to quit, and I won't let you quit. My clients, I don't quit on my clients. So I am here for my clients to get the results. You're going to get radical accountability in my bulletproof mindset and my conviction that you will get results to reclaim your body, wherever that may be. Could be 5 pounds of weight loss, could be 50 pounds of weight loss. I can't guarantee exactly what's going to happen, but I'm going to be there for you for 6 months or longer, depending on whether or not you get the bonus time. So that bulletproof mindset took me from struggling to keep my weight down under 200 to finally losing the last 60 pounds and keeping 100 pounds off. Now, when I first dropped 200 pounds, when I first dropped 20 pounds on a low carb diet with the bulletproof method, I didn't lose any more for 3 years. Now, from everything I'm hearing with everybody out here, all the comments that I've had, people think that if they get to a plateau, that you're done, that it's never going to work, keto doesn't work, and you might as well go back to go back to the toxic foods, go back to the sugar, go back and just like throw yourself back on the fat storage sugar bus, the yo-yo diet, and that you have to quit low carb because it didn't work. It has nothing to do with it not working. Your body is doing things on the inside. It is repairing itself. It is taking that melanoma out of your body and shoving it out through a spot, perhaps. Who knows what your body's going to do? Or we all have cancer cells. They are there, whether we turn them on or off, depending on what we're eating. Because there are foods that act as anti-angiogenic. What that means is there are blood vessels that go to cancer cells that are nourished with sugar, and you can actually turn off the blood flow to those cancers by eating specific anti-angiogenic foods. It's a mouthful, right? So food is information to your body, food is medicine, or food is poison. And so when you look at sugar next to cocaine and you can see they look almost identical, then you might want to start thinking about what other people have been thinking about. That's white and deadly. And even though it won't specifically kill you in the moment, it's not toxic like arsenic, over time it's very damaging to the body. Lots of studies coming out that children are being damaged from high sugar diets, and that now that they're getting into college, they don't have the resilience that people had in the past. They're not able to be strong. There's lack of resilience because there can be some, who knows what's happening to the brain when it's running on sugar all the time, when it doesn't get fat and nourished. If there's not good fat coming in the body being nourished, what is that sugar doing to our body? And so my brain couldn't function. And now it can. And I never gave up. So I never accepted that plateau. I'm like, I feel better now than I've ever felt in my whole life. I've only lost 20 pounds. I'm just going to keep doing this and see where it goes. Keep studying, keep following, keep doing what needs to be done. And then I figured out what I needed to do next, and I dropped another 15 pounds. And then I kept at it. And then I found what worked next, dropped another 15 pounds. I plateaued each time, but I didn't give up. This is a can-do attitude. 100% implementation of a holistic low-carb diet will get you the health benefits so you can reclaim the second half of your life and live the life that you want to have in reverse age and live without pain and be active. And this is a whole process that I help instill into you with the bulletproof mindset, radical accountability, 100% implementation, and I show up weekly for you because it can be hard in the beginning. And if you want to do it fast, we could get it done. We could get it started in 6 months to a year, get everything implemented so that you know what you're doing. That's what it is. But if you put sugar in there, sugar becomes a weight loss block. It makes you crave more foods, flips that sugar switch back on, and you can't resist it. It's a hormonal process. You will eat the things in front of you. I've noticed even when I eat a little bit of starchy stuff like a siete chip, a little extra sugar-free chocolate, I start eating a few more carbs. I'm going to crave more carbs a little bit the next day. I'm going to feel a little hungrier. But when you eat the fat and the protein, that's how you balance the sugar cravings, because you turn off your sugar switch and you're satiated. So I'm going to talk all about that on Wednesday. So either DM me directly for the link for the workshop, come and join me, bring your question, send it to me beforehand so I know what to ask. And let's get you signed up for that Banish Cravings workshop tomorrow, 5 p.m., March 13th. And bring a friend, have a friend sign up, tag a friend. I am going to be there for you and help empower you and give you information that you need to take the next step to shift and get in action and banish those cravings so you can get the weight loss that you want as a woman over 50. You've got this, girls. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.